Welcome to the Circle of Grace One. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Also the Bishop for the Circle of Grace One, which was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. On February the 7th, 2009, he gave birth to his very own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And most of those courses and classes, weekend seminars, can be taken with me online, actually through live broadcast or by the use of Skype video camera. Students can get together with me and be able to receive a specialized training. I have over about 40 different topics, but the Institute itself covers about a five level or five tier program. And most of those courses can be taught uh, usually every other weekend, or according to most of our schedules, done about one weekend a month, which means either have two parts done on a Saturday or do a Saturday and then come back and do a Sunday session. So people have an opportunity to learn all of the various teachings and the principles connected to the Circle of Grace One. I am the chief principal teacher, I am the founder, and I am also very proficient in a lot of areas. And when we get to the fifth level of the training, the fifth level is called Mentoring Masters. Now, what I've been doing is bringing that across in different ways. So, some of the preliminaries information is being taught right here for free. So, you can come right here. So, before we get started with tonight's program, I want to start with an opening prayer. Through divine power and by divine grace. For whomever listens to this program, listening live, we're coming on a little later this evening. We had a very long schedule working with a lot of people that I'm mentoring. So we wanted to make sure in this prayer that you receive the best that you can get out of tonight's program. I want you to know that the divine source looks at us as being the co-creator. Therefore, we are infinite resources. We are an infinite resource, and we stand in line, alignment, as well as attunement with the divine source. When we look at the divine source, we see the divine source as being immanent, seeing it being omnipotent, having the power to bless us and bring grace upon us in our lives. So, when I say through divine power and by divine grace, know that you are being blessed every day in some form. You have a greater awareness of who you are, your soul's purpose, your dharma, as we say. You have an awareness of your own divinity, and you are able to begin to walk into that path, that destiny, and find yourself uh, moving across. And so this is special. And so when I say this prayer, may you know that you are an integral part of the divine plan, that you are part of God consciousness energy that is flowing. May you know that you are already ascending in your consciousness every day. So you are seeing yourself as a living master already. See yourself as a living master. Know that you were born as a living master. You've come here to remember your divinity. And way that you shall remember that divinity, one of the ways is to spread your joy, your happiness, your unconditional love, spread your compassion. Know that you have a special place here in the world, and know that you can be honored in this world, but know that you must first embrace yourself. So you want to walk in your journey, and you want to be able to move forward in your journey. And this is highly important for your own development. And know that you will always be blessed in more ways than one. And so it is, and amen. One of the things I want to, today's date is Monday, April the 28th, and we're coming on a little late here. As I said, I've been mentoring a lot of people all weekend. I've been writing prayers out for many different clients and students, and seeing that they receive that blessing in more ways than one, and so that people are feeling greatly honored. And so I want people to know that they are here and they are in the process of always receiving. And as you allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to feel more blessed, allow yourself to feel more honored in your life, know that you become a blessing for other people. And so tonight's program here for April the 28th, the Circle Grace one of the teachings I want to share with you is part of a channeled message coming into a meditation to do this specific program. And it's called Every Part of You is a Seed. Now, what would I mean by every part of you is a seed? SEED. Well, think of the seed of a plant. Within the seed of every plant, the seed in itself is a holographic program, and it has all the essence, all the nutrients in that particular seed that will bring forth. It has a genetic code. It will bring forth a distinctive flower, like a rose or a gardenia, or it will bring forth an African violet, or maybe it's a vegetable, so it will bring forth a cucumber, or maybe it's a fruit, it will bring forth an apple, and then various species of apples according to the seed. Well, the seed is really your thought, is your intention that you lay out. And one of the things we have to comprehend is that all life is energy, and every word that we use is overflowing with energy. It's it's packed with energy. Our intentions, our words, our actions, our deeds, our thoughts, our feelings. Even when we place the energy of faith into our thoughts, which are seeds, that takes on the quality of the faith. Your seed thought takes on the quality of your faith. It takes on the quality of trust. It takes on the quality of understanding. It takes on the quality of compassion. It takes on the quality of your passion. All right, and it therefore acts as energy, as fuel. And so it is important, and we're going to keep this not a long program tonight. This is going to be another short program. But I want you to understand that every part of you is a seed. Every time you create an action in your life, or you react towards something based on past history, past experience, you influence your seed. You influence your thought. You influence your current action. You also influence your behavior. So you have to begin to pay more attention. All of us do. Pay more attention to what kind of energy are we placing around the seed thought, and what kind of environment are we placing those seeds into. Many times, speaking to one of my spiritual daughters today, and we were laughing. She's always in search of that new guy to be in her life, and one of the things that was bringing out to her, and I brought it out to her before. Sometimes we have to watch the way that we are thinking and how we are feeling about a situation. So if you are working toward wanting someone to be in your life, to share in a partnership kind of relationship, romantic, business, whatever it is, you have to pay more attention to the energy that you yourself are placing into the mix. Be it in a conversation. Sometimes, like she was saying, well, she sits back and she just listens to what the guy is saying. Well, you might be listening to what he is saying, but are you really listening to him 100%, without any judgment, without any biased thoughts on your part? See, that's the key. That's one of the keys. When someone is talking to you, are you really listening to them? And when I mean really listening, do you have your undivided attention? Are you providing them with undivided attention? That's the way I would like to say that to you. And so you look into how you are presenting yourself. You're on the receiving end. This is what I was getting across to her. You're on the receiving end. You're listening to the gentleman talk, but are you really listening? Is your mind filled with how you want the person to be towards you, how you're going to respond to whatever that person is saying? So, are you paying more attention to the present moment so that you can see with a present thought, a present feeling of the now moment? Or are you drawing on a past experience that you've had with someone else? So if you had difficulties with someone else, 9 times out of 10, you're drawing on a seed of consciousness from the past. And that emotional energy attached to a past experience. Now, let's say if she had some ups and downs and things didn't work out, so she's going to pull from the past, and that's going to influence her seed thoughts, her seed intentions, her seed feelings, behaviors, and actions in the present moment with the person that she's trying to gain a better understanding. Sometimes people say, okay, um, when I'm dealing with someone, be it a partner, a ship relationship, romantic, marital, you name it, business, the person isn't taking me seriously. Well, the person may not take you seriously if they sense that you yourself aren't taking yourself seriously. In order to take yourself seriously, what would you have to do? You would have to give value. You'd have to have a sense of value for yourself. You have to know what you are worth. Now, this is good because if you know what you are worth to yourself, then you'll either raise the bar and not drop the bar. So you'll raise the bar, meaning that the person that is speaking to you, who is trying to get your attention, vying for your attention, you have to realize that you have a certain bar, you have a certain standard. Now, just as much as you want the person to reach that standard, you yourself already have to be there. And you have to be there consistently. And how would you be there consistently with a particular standard that you have for yourself? Well, one of the ways would be this, that you yourself would be living the word of your standard. In other words, you have principles. You'd be aware of your principles. You'd be aware of, therefore, your principles give you value. So you have certain characteristic traits. You wouldn't necessarily say, well, I'm Pisces, I'm Aries, he's Gemini, he's Leo. No, I'm not talking about the astrological stuff. I'm talking about the down home, mother wit, common, everyday stuff. Do you have manners? Are you polite? Are you walking about, or are you holding a door open for someone who's just a few steps behind you? Are you being polite like that? Are you uh, being able to speak in a way and in a manner that makes another person feel at peace, feel safe being in your presence? Or are you agitated all the time? If you're agitated, you got negative thoughts and negative feelings, that energy will be teeming out, expanding itself out into your auric field, and then your personal space is how far you can stretch your hand out, and from your tip of your fingers back to you, that's your personal space. People can be in that space and feel it. People can be twice the distance away from you and tell by your body language how you carry yourself. You're walking with your shoulders inched up, or you're walking with your head down, or you're pulling your head back too far, or you're leaning away from them in conversation, or you're leaning forward in conversation. Do you come across timid to people or uncertain, even with yourself? All of these are seed thoughts, actions, and behaviors which other people pick up from you and therefore may interpret them either properly, correctly, or they may put their own spin on it. Sometimes, people put their own spin on who you are. So you want to pay attention to the energy that you are constantly putting out around yourself. Pay attention when you wake up in the morning. How do you feel? I know many times I've waken up in the morning and I don't know how I feel. There was a great spiritual teacher who passed uh, around the same time Michael Jackson passed, and that was the late Reverend Eichenkrota, Frederick Eichenkrota. And he used to teach um, how you needed to tell yourself. That means you had to tell your subconscious self, who was listening to your conscious self, how to feel, so that at any given point you would build up such energy of influence upon your subconscious that your subconscious self would reflect back to your conscious self that you felt fine, you felt healthy, you felt energetic, you felt rejuvenated, you felt invigorated, excited, revitalized, refreshed. You felt strong, you felt happy, joyful. But you had to, what he was saying is, you had to program yourself. There are many ways of programming yourself. Maybe if you watch a lot of TV or you read certain newspapers and magazines, make sure you're reading positive stuff. Make sure you're looking at positive things. We all like to watch an action picture or a thriller or something scary every now and then. But most of the times I like to pick something that's comical that will make me laugh. Because I'm all about laughter. So I'm going to pick something that's going to help plant a seed in my surroundings. I'm not going to pick something that's going to fuel me or fill me up or somehow negatively impact my awareness and my consciousness and my memory bank with negativity. So the same is here. Our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our deeds, our thoughts about ourselves. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself with a good space? Do you see yourself in a positive light? Are you building up yourself? What I mean by building up yourself, when you're seated in meditation, or you're out jogging, or walking, or swimming, are you constantly feeding positive images to yourself? Positive traits and attributes? Are you saying positive things about your life? Well, what are one of the positive things you could do for yourself? You can create what is, people have talked about gratitude journals. You know, finding three things in the morning that you're grateful for, and at the end of the day, find five things that you're grateful for throughout the day. Or create 10 things in the morning that you're grateful for. 10 new things that you find yourself being grateful for already before your day starts. And then you add on what you would want to see happen for yourself in that day. And then at the end of the day, review to see how those 10 that you wrote in the morning expanded themselves and where they are now in your life. So it's the same thing. You want to begin to pay attention. All of us, we want to pay attention. Here we are as living masters. We were born with the knowing already of who we are. But we take on this contract, so to speak, this energetic contract, soul contract with our parents. Yes, you choose your parents. You choose them to help give you that catalyst, that energy that you need to burst forward so you can step forward into your divinity and with your divinity. How many people often find themselves questioning their value, their sense of value, their sense of worth? How do you see yourself? You know, many times in the beginning we find ourselves comparing ourselves to others. You know, you want to have a mentor, or you want to have a good buddy, you know, around you, someone that you could call your sister or your brother, you know, beyond your immediate family of brothers and sisters. And in that process, You are striving to uplift yourself. So you're picking someone or trying to be around people who have a little more than what you have. You know, it's a good thing to have a team of people to assist you in different ways for you to get to your goals. Remember, your life is overflowing with energy. Your words are impacting with energy, is influenced with energy, is built up on energy. So are you around people who talk positive things, who are doing positive things for themselves, for their families, their loved ones, their community, people that they work with? Are they extending themselves to make their community better, whether it's a one-on-one or in a group? And what is your relationship to those people? Are they somehow positively impacting you? And what I mean by that, are they helping you to strive and take a bigger step? See, those are the things you want to be aware of. Are you around people who are positive? Because you can be easily influenced in a negative way, and sometimes it doesn't take long. If you're sad about something, depression meaning your anger is turned within, maybe you're worried about something, maybe you worry about you can't make your bills, or maybe you feel that you're super lonely, you don't have friends to be around, you feel your life is boring and you just can't seem to get something going. Well, if you put too much energy into that, that becomes what we call a negative prayer. So now you're putting so much negative energy into your thoughts and into your feelings, into your words, then you become, excuse me, you become slothful. You feel like you don't want to do anything. You want to go out and meet people. You find yourself sitting by yourself. Find yourself being very moody because you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. Well, see, again, you're seeding. See, you're seeding. Just think of your environment, your surroundings as the soil of your consciousness, your soil of opportunity. Your surroundings, your physical surroundings are your soil of opportunity. Your auric field, which is a biomagnetic electrical field of energy, is a soil of consciousness. And what if your experiences that you're having are negative, if the words that you're speaking are negative, if therefore you're reacting in negative or acting out negatively, so that means your behavior is negative, you start to draw into that electromagnetic field of energy around you people who act that way. So you want to begin to look at your sources that are around you. You got to develop good positive relationships with people. That doesn't mean now maybe you don't have 50 good relationships, but if you got five, make sure that those five relationships are wholesome relationships. Make sure that when you're with those people, they're excited about seeing you, excited about hearing about your life's experiences, just like you get excited about hearing their life's experiences. But again, it's all about energy. When we have people that we relate to, it's like a support group. People who are trying to get to the same places. This is a support group. People who have similar experiences, but at the same time, it's all energy. So you have to watch what kind of energy are you receiving into your consciousness. It is your hope, and it's my hope for you that you're receiving positive energy. Now, I'm not saying negate the negative experiences that are going on because we learn from those experiences. All I'm saying is you don't want to find yourself wallowing in the negative. You don't want to find yourself drowning in the negative. You want to pull yourself up and out of that negative energy field. So you want to find what is it that you're getting out of the situation? What are you putting into it? Remember that auric field in your physical surroundings. These are the seed soils, the soil that will take your seed, and from there you could watch it grow. But when you're placing a positive thought, a positive intention into that arena, you have to cultivate it. It means you have to cultivate it. You got to pair it. You got to make it more simplified for yourself. You got to polish it up so people can see the seed, so that you can see the seed grow. You can see the seed attract more positive situations. You have to begin to have a certain degree of expectancy. In other words, to expect a positive outcome. That's important. You still have to have a certain degree of expectancy. I didn't say have 100%, because sometimes you could say, okay, I know this is going to happen, I'm 100% in agreement, but you could be dealing with other people who are not putting forth 100%. They're just putting out 80%, 50%, 10% effort. You're doing all the work. You do the 90, now they're doing 10%. So if you're doing 90%, yeah, you might see somewhat of a positive result, but you won't see 100 because the other people involved did put their best effort forward. They didn't seed into it with positivity. So they seeded into this plan with you, this joint plan. They seeded doubt. They seeded fear. They seeded illusions. They seeded past thought patterns and processes and past actions into the current situation. And here you are going along with it. So you have to pay attention to what you are putting into it. It's like, have you ever made a juice for yourself? Or let's say a salad, good salad. Now, if you have certain things that have been sitting around in the salad department a little too long, I mean, if you went to a supermarket or if you went to a restaurant where there was a buffet, would you want to have on your plate the salad parts of the salad where it's decaying, where it's not good? No. You wouldn't want to put a piece of fruit, part of it is rotten, on your plate. It's going sour. Or you can see the mildew on it with the little hairs almost coming out, the spores. No, you wouldn't want to see that on your plate. So think of that as a negative seed on the plate. That was influenced by negative actions and energies and negative conditions. So therefore, the seed of that which would have been good for your body is now tainted with negativity. Something that's not going to do you well. Something that's eventually going to get you sick. So here it is the same thing. You have to watch every thought that is coming through you. You have to make sure that thought is not negatively influenced by negative feelings and not by negative experiences. You have to watch how someone presents a seed thought to you. Did they present that seed thought in a positive manner with positive emotions and positive intentions? If it didn't come to you that way, you most certainly couldn't accept it, because then you would be embracing something in your life that's not conducive in a positive manner for you. So, you have to become the guardian of your seeds. That's it. You would become the guardian of your seeds. You would be loyal. You would be faithful. You would be more trusting of your own seeds and the potentials for those seeds to be able to turn something from nothing into something that is positive. And you would have to cultivate it along the way. That means you would have to make sure that the seed thought is beginning to germinate. So let's pick like an exercise here, because we're going to keep this program short. let's pick a meditative exercise. And I want to call this is a variation of an old Creative Pathwork meditation that I put together. And it's called Heart-Centered Reality. Heart-Centered Reality. What I want you to do is just take a moment, sit up straight in your chair. Maybe you're sitting on your sofa as you're watching this, or maybe you're watching this over on you have a mobile application, you're watching this on your phone or your tablet. But I want you to take a moment. Maybe if you have some water, I'm going to sip some water right now. And I want you to just clear your mind. Don't have any thoughts going on in your mind at all. Just clear them. Clear out any doubts that what you're about to do. Don't have any doubt, any negative expectations. See, that's what doubt is. Doubt is negative expectations. Right now, all you know that what you're about to do is this meditation, this very short meditation called heart-centered reality, is going to draw into your life from a seed thought that you planted into the bed of consciousness in your immediate surroundings, in your electromagnetic field called your aura. This is where you're planting the seed. That's the soil. Now, you can take this journey with your eyes open or your eyes closed. Whichever is best, is comfortable. I just want you to inhale through the nose and release the breath through the mouth. Do a series of that about 4 times. In and out is one beat. And after that, place the tongue to your roof of your mouth just behind your 2 front teeth, and you're going to connect the circuitry of energy that comes up the back over your spine, dead center, coming all the way around into your second chakra, which is just below your navel. Now, every time you inhale and exhale, you're going to do it through your nose, and then you focus your awareness. I want you to focus coming through the crown center, base of the skull and the crown. Move that energy forward to the hairline, the center of the forehead, down to your third eye, down into your throat. Take a moment, exhale it there, inhale it back in. Go into your heart center in the middle of your sternum, down into your solar plexus, and down into the second chakra. Just breathe fully, and then let that energy flow on down your legs, out the soles of your feet, into the belly of Mother Earth, into Gaia, Mother Earth. Feel the soles of your fingers tingle, your hands tingle, and now let the light from above come down, the light of the universe, flow down, coming from the great central sun in your awareness. Your heart is connected to the great central sun. Your pituitary and your pineal gland is connected there. The crown is connected. The throat center is connected. The heart center is definitely connected. And feel that golden white light pour down. Come down and spread out through your arms, your chest, okay, your lungs, your upper part of your back, then down into your kidneys. This energy is just flowing out of the palms and fingertips. And everything is tingling. And then you're bringing that down all the way through the soles of your feet into Mother Gaia, Grandmother Gaia. Gaia is Mother Earth anyhow. Just feel that energy. Be present. Now what I want you to do is, in this journey, see yourself in an old cottage. Nice cottage though. It has a fireplace, has a table there, little kitchen utensils, everything is there. There's a room there. You can go down and lay down. There's a living room with that fireplace. You can look out and see beautiful landscape all around you. And it's a great day out. It's a sunny day. And you can walk down the hallway through the kitchen all the way out to the back. there's a back porch. You can look around and notice that there's a garden there for you. And next to that garden is a well with a bucket. You look down in the well and there's plenty of water. So I want you to lower that bucket, this journey, lower it and fill it up to the brim with water. And as you fill it up to the brim with water and pull it back up, take that bucket and begin to go where your garden is, and you'll see a basket there. Basket that is filled with multiple multicolored seeds. And you're going to see seeds of every color and hue of the rainbow in there as well. And they're different sizes, different textures. And I want you to take this seed, hold it in your hand, and put it right over your physical location of your heart. Just hold it. I want you to just be aware of it. I want you to take your breath and blow your breath, the spirit in you, upon the seed. Or if you want to put it in your mouth, but blow your breath upon the seed. Your breath. Your breath is connected with the divine source, so it's co-creation here. And then take that seed and dig a hole in the earth. You have a tool there. You're digging into the earth, making a hole, and placing that seed there. Now I want you to add just a little water into that hole, just a little bit, not a lot, maybe like a tablespoon, just to wet it. Cover it up with the soil, the rich dark soil of the earth, and pour a little bit more water onto it. And I want you to begin to plant out several seeds in one row. Give it plenty of space so that whatever that is that begins to grow, they won't become entangled at their roots. And I want you to create several rows. So say the first row that you're creating is a row of personal wholesomeness, balance. And the next row is a row of greater understanding. And the next row is faith, compassion, and grace. Maybe there's love. But you are planting these seeds. And you're paying more attention as you plant the seeds. That you say a prayer of positive expectancy. That this seed that I now place in the earth represents a divine source, a divine connection. And is therefore becomes my divine resource. And I shall prosper from the seed that I have planted. Therefore I see and decree that this seed will bring forth a harvest 100-fold, 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold. It will bring great prosperity, great abundance, more positive health, more healthier relationships in my life, and my current relationships will become healthier for it. It means it will take on roots, and those roots are strong roots in the earth so that they don't blow away as they start to grow. They won't fall away. They'll be rooted firmly, but they're centered from that you're giving. That's what the water is for, purification and your love. And you are planting that seed. And now all that you can see in your mind is the excitement of what that seed will turn into. What fruit, what tree, what vegetable, what flower is it going to create? But you know that it's going to be healthy. You know that it's going to have strong roots. You know that It's going to be so centered and anchored in the earth that nothing can blow it away. And that is going to give everything nourishment. You're planting that seed. These are seeds that you're planting from your heart because they are heart-centered. They are real. So that's why we call it a heart-centered reality. Because the condition of the seed is heart, is of the heart. It's coming from a place of compassion and grace, divinity, remembrance, awareness, spiritualness. That's what is being embedded, planted in the seed. The seed is programmed to do such. And now you are seeding it into your consciousness and letting it grow and cultivating it with unconditional love, compassion, passion, divine grace, trust, faith, resourcefulness. You're seeing it now begin to grow, these seeds. And every day you look into the garden of your own mind and the garden of your own heart, and all you see is the seeds prospering and moving out abundantly and beginning to produce positive manifestations and positive materializations. So you take a moment now, you realize everything that you are planting, everything that you have planted, you're planting with degrees of consistency, positiveness, positive intentions, positive thoughts, positive actions, positive principles are positive, the powers are positive, principalities are positive, the virtues are positive. You're giving it positive energy and you're influencing it in a positive manner. So you don't have to worry. See, worry is taken out of the equation. You don't have any negative doubts. You don't have any doubts that produce negative thinking. You don't have any negative feeling, therefore you don't doubt. You know that seed that you've planted, you now can decree over it. I decree that each and every one of my seeds that I have planted will prosper me abundantly, will prosper my health, will give me more increase, will cause me to feel more rejuvenated, excited about life and the people in it. The seeds that you have planted in this brief journey is going to bring back to you 100-fold, 10,000-fold of goodness. So what is your expectancy? That you will have a harvest. It's not going to be a negative harvest. It's not going to be a harvest of shortages, but a harvest of abundance. A harvest of abundance. That's what you know. That you shall prosper because the energy that you have placed forward in that seed thought, positive feelings, then you create positive actions, positive plans, positive associations. You even read about it, the seed, what it can produce. You start not pretending, but you begin to do what? You begin to live that way. When you begin to live a certain way, knowing that it's going to be all right anyhow, then what happens is you relax the mind and you knock out the worry and the anxiety and the fears and the doubts. You don't go back into the past and look at things that didn't work out, because if you do that, that's going to influence your present situation. So you detach from all the negative thoughts from the past, all the negative feelings, all the negative behavioral patterns. You begin to detach, you cut that off from you. In fact, those are old cords attached to your solar plexus, so you cut them away, you separate yourself. And everything is heart to heart now. living master that you are, you live heart to heart. Now you don't live paycheck to paycheck, you live moment to moment, but each moment is infused in the next. So positive energy will flow out in front of you. It will precede you, and you will be in the flow of positive actions, positive deeds. You won't react to some situation. You'll sit back and positively observe. Then you'll act. Why? Because then you're acting responsibly. You know, you're responsible. You have the ability to respond in a proper manner. You're just not all over the place. You're not unsettled. You're not coming from a place of chaos or confusion. You're coming from a place of order, divine order. You want to always remember that in your surroundings, other people may plant seeds as well. So this is why it's important to have positive thinking people around you as much as you can. This way you have positive thoughts in your garden of consciousness. You're aware of your garden. You're aware of your mindset. So it's only people thinking positive that are there. Yeah, you're going to go through some life situations that are not always going to be of the best interest to you, or it's going to be painful. But you have your soul family to connect with. Maybe you are fortunate to have a soul contract with a family member, a person who's playing in the role as an immediate family member to you all the time. Well, so be it. That's exciting, but a lot of us didn't have that. We have certain family members that are acting as a catalyst to move us forward and to be more of the light. Maybe we have certain people that you don't get along with that in the end, in the long run, you're going to look at is that they're being negative. So you can't be negative like them. You have to step up your positiveness. You got to burst forward with positiveness. You got to spring forward with positiveness. You can protect yourself, yes, but you're protecting yourself in a positive manner so that it's what the win-win situation, not you win, they lose. See, but if they want to lose, then it's on them. Then they shall lose. But for you, you're seeing a win-win situation. That's what you want to do in life. You want to create the environment, the soil for all seeds to grow and prosper not only yourself but others abundantly. So that when you reap the harvest, it is a harvest of abundance. Abundant health, abundant finances, abundance of happy friends, friends who are out there doing things, making an impact on the world. That's what you want to create for yourself. So as we say, this is a short program. And this is called Every Part of You is a Seed. When you see it here in the files and you see it later in YouTube channel for Circle Grace 1, you're going to see it as Circle Grace 1 underscore seeds underscore 4282014, which is today's date. I want to thank you for watching this whenever I do come on. And this is almost in the line of random broadcasting because we didn't come on at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We came on almost about 7:45 Mountain Standard Time. So this gave many people a little opportunity to see this later, but it's still broadcasted live and recorded as well. Uh, Next month, I am planning another teleseminar. I may do it toward the end of the month, but I am planning another teleseminar either for May or for June. And it's going to be a very unique teleseminar. And the cost of that seminar, I don't know right now. It may range from $15 to $45, but it's going to be excellent. And it's going to be where, again, if we have less than 25 people on the call, we will be able to interact with each other. If we have a lot of people beyond that, then you'll just be listening. And then I'll, ask each person. I'll open up everybody's line and ask them if they have a question. And then everybody can listen to the question that that person has. Usually those teleseminars are recorded in an MP3 audio file so that later people could purchase it on as in a CD format so that they could play it in their car or the SUV or play it on an MP3 player at home. So uh, if you want to know about that next teleseminar, just give me another week or two, and then I'm going to come on here and I will announce it so you know what it is. Or better yet, you can email me at iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end at yahoo.com. That's iam.circleofgrace1 at yahoo.com or iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end at gmail.com. Or you can use Bishop Francis, BishopFrancis at circleofgrace1.net. Those are the three ways in which you can email me. Now, you can also Skype me if you have Skype. Just call my Skype number direct, 973-685-5978. That's 973-685-5978 to say you want some information about the upcoming teleseminar that I plan to do for either May or June. We'll come on Monday or Tuesday night so you can get the information. They usually last about 90 minutes. We just did one on March the 18th, and that was called Decree and It Shall Be. Now, I'm going to also come on here with a series of programs called Decree and It Shall Be. And usually when I come on and I talk about decreeing, it's giving you a better understanding about affirmations, prayers, affirmative prayers, which are spiritual prayer treatments, and meditation, how to use them as a meditation, then how to use them as a decree. And usually I will teach a channel decree that I have in my archives, or I might get that for that particular evening. But what happens when I do a teleconference and I'm using decree and it shall be, everybody that's on, I will say a series of decrees for. And I will say a decree for the entire group. So we did one on the 18th, and people got responses to their prayers within about 72 hours. And that was a general decree. After I took off the recorded side of it, stopped recording it, then everybody that remained on got a special decree. So when what I will do is I will bring that kind of format into this program here for the Circle Grace One right here on Ustream.tv. So you'll get a chance to experience Decree and It Shall Be. Well, thank you for joining me. If you want to know how to get a hold of my Two Bears e-newsletter or the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance e-newsletter, you can also email me and I'll give you the new price for the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, which comes out 3 times a year. It's completely different fee. I've even lowered it now, so you'll be able to receive it in your inbox. Okay, it's a paid subscription. Two Bears is a paid subscription. For 6 months, it's $25. For 1 year, it's $45. You get that in your inbox. I have a brand new one. You don't get it in your inbox. It's in a hard copy form. It's called the Grace Keys. One comes out 6 times a year, and subscription for that I believe is $9. You get 6 issues, so it's a good deal. So if you want to find out all about these different e-newsletters, paid subscription, or the one in a hard copy form that you get sent right to your physical mailbox attached to your house or your apartment, why don't you email me at iam.circleofgrace1 at yahoo.com or iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. You can call my Circle Grace 1 meditational prayer and decree request line at 505-717-4722. Now, if you call that, you're going to hear a 2-minute decree. That's all-purpose decree. And you could use that one to order a specialized CD for yourself called Decree and It Shall Be for just $22. What happens is you just send me your birth date, your, and I'm going to look at your birth date. I'm going to look at your name. I'm going to do a meditation prayer over it. You're going to get a mini reading, and you're going to get a series of decrees that I'm going to write specifically for you. And then maybe you might have a message in prayer language coming from the angel of grace for you. Well, anyway, until next time, we'll be back here next Monday. We should come on about 5, between 5 and 6, next Monday, Mountain Standard Time. Remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you real soon. And within an hour, this recorded broadcast will be here for you to view again, and you'll have a copy of it on my YouTube channel called Circle Grace 1. Within an hour, you'll see it right there. You can go view it there and all the others. Well, thank you so much for watching tonight's show and being part of it. And again, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you real soon, and thank you so much.